Hey Stillwater, welcome to the Still Connect podcast, a podcast all about Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Denver Evans, a born and raised Stillwater local and owner of Stillwater Digital Marketing. Every Wednesday, I share a friendly chat with someone in our community that's helping make Stillwater such a great place. Whether you're a longtime resident or just a visitor, this is your place to plug in, stay inspired, and still connect with the stories that shape our community. And if you ever want to watch these interviews, you can check them out on YouTube. For this episode, I got to sit down with Susan Hartford with Typo Market, Sparrow Beginnings, Sparrow Homes, and The Happy Place. Let's jump right in. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Great. So for those who haven't met you, will you give us a little overview of the businesses you own and just a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Susan Hartford. I've got 3 daughters, Jessica, Shelby, and Katie. And because I led with them, you'll understand how important family is. Mm-hmm. We started out with a wedding venue called Sparrow Beginnings in 2017. We then segued into a gift shop that we started in Georgia, and it's now here in Stillwater called Typo Market. And the most recent addition is Sparrow Homes, which is a home staging business for people who are trying to sell their home, take some great pictures, which you help with significantly. And we also rent out our space for parties, The Happy Place.
The Happy Place downtown, right on 9th.
Yes.
Yep. That's great. So today we're going to talk about Typo Market.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the concept of Typo Market, how you guys got started, why you expanded from Georgia to Stillwater, all those fun details.
So Jessica, my oldest, was living in Georgia, and we always have loved stationery our whole life. And so first concept was just a stationery paper goods store. But we quickly segued from there. I've learned that you need to sell a lot of different things for people to come in and be interested. So we started in Georgia. She was expecting her first baby, wanted to move closer to home, to her sisters, share the experience. So we closed the store in Georgia, literally packed up a huge truck of everything and moved it to Stillwater. And it's been amazing in Stillwater. All of the girls are involved in it in one way or the other. We opened up a second one back in Georgia when Jessica moved back. It's been wonderful.
That's great. So stationery, what other kind of products do you all sell?
We sell everything. We have men's cologne and gadgets. We have games for kids. We have baby items, candles, apothecary, beauty things to some degree, home decor, home goods, greeting cards, seasonal stuff.
I always love your seasonal redecorations. My wife and I come every time to check it out, and especially Christmas. We love Christmas and fall. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So you own several businesses. What kind of got the entrepreneurial thing going for you?
You know, I live full-time in Los Angeles. I might have forgot to mention that. My husband works 10 to 12 hours a day. I finished a late degree in accounting and just was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Jessica got me started in the gift shop arena, and I loved it. I am not a good person to sit around. My husband can attest that if I don't have something to do, then I start to examine his life really closely. So I love it. I don't think I would ever want to retire. Mm-hmm. My kids might have to kick me out before. So
how old were you when you started your first business?
I'm going to say close to 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of a whole new chapter.
It was. And I never thought that I would do something like this. But the girls kind of gave me the courage to step out. I never thought, I could do this, or I had no idea what I was doing. It was a big learning curve. Mm-hmm. With the wedding business that we started out with, it started because 2 of my kids were getting married at the same time, and all the wedding venues were booked up. And we were seeing what people were paying, and we thought, oh my gosh, this sounds like a great business opportunity. Mm-hmm. And so, and there was not a great one in Stillwater at the time, we thought. Mm-hmm. Since we've opened, there's several others that are beautiful here as well. But it seemed like a good time to get into the business.
That's great. So you opened Sparrow Beginnings in 2017?
Yes, that was when our first wedding started. We bought the property in 2015. It was a very long process.
Oh, yeah.
Big learning curve. My son-in-law manages it now and does a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So tell me just about your experience with Stillwater. So you live in LA. you originally had a business in Georgia, so you're East Coast, West Coast.
Yes.
Why Stillwater?
I went to school at Oklahoma State University in the early 80s, and I fell in love with it. I'm originally from Enid, Oklahoma, and it's a fine town, but it's not my favorite, and I just fell in love with Stillwater, and in the back of my mind, I always wanted to come back. So when the girls, as a single mom, when the girls were little, we moved back to Stillwater, and I just loved it. Always have come back. When my husband retires, we're going to live here half time and half in Georgia.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're going to get to be around all your grandkids.
Yes. 6 and counting.
Wow. That's fantastic. So who are some people who, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, kind of inspire you?
Oh, goodness. I didn't think about this one. My husband is a great entrepreneur. He started his own company, and he's so busy that he doesn't micromanage what I'm doing, but he gives me a lot of insight. He knows the economic side of things, the business side of things, so he gives me a lot of input, sometimes too much. But, yeah, he gives me a lot of insight. I don't know about anybody else. I'm just so...
No, that was a great answer.
I just jumped right in.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say for people who have never owned a small business or thinking about starting a small business? What is that lifestyle kind of like?
It's harder than you think. I think it's great, and my husband taught me this, to start out with a budget and all the steps that you're going to need to take. There's a lot involved that people don't realize. You have to figure out what you want to be called and what do you want your company to look like, your logo. You have to file corporate paperwork. And so a lot of it's not the fun stuff. Like if you want to open a coffee shop, there's a lot of things to do behind the scenes before you can actually open the doors.
Right.
So you have to really plan, make a good budget, and try to stick to it. You have to, and a great team helping you is important.
What have been some of your major successes that you would say in your business journey?
Learning from my mistakes, just figuring out, we're always honing what we think people will like. We try to make it beautiful, affordable. We do something at least once a year to maybe update our space. We did a new cash wrap a couple of years ago. We painted the whole building. We put, just make it prettier. So really just how you stage the business and make it appear. And we have a sign on the front of our door that says happiness can be found inside.
Love it.
And I try to stick with that with what we sell. Try not to have negative things. I try to stay away from profanity, just to make it a pleasant experience when people walk in.
That's fantastic. I love hearing that. Yeah. One thing I will say, you all are incredibly aesthetically gifted when it comes to for those of you watching video and are seeing the inside of the Happy Place right now, this is beautiful. But you all just do such a good job curating your products and setting everything up. It looks perfectly staged, which of course makes perfect sense that you would start a staging company as well. So, and working with you all on that, you do such an incredible job. I love watching your process of decorating homes and all of that.
It's a little harder than it looks. There's a lot of trial and error, but we just figure it out.
Yeah, you just have to try things out, and then
Right.
once you see something that really hits you, that's it.
Right.
So how has your business evolved since its launch?
I kind of hit on it earlier that we've evolved in what we carry with our goods. We've evolved with just better quality. When we first started the business, we thought, we'll just make everything that we sell.
Oh, wow.
And that lasted about a day. We had no idea what we were doing. So we started visiting businesses that did similar things. We looked at what they were selling. You go to a lot of markets. You just kind of figure out, and then what do I like? What appeals to me? So we evolved in things that we carry. We've evolved in the presentation of that and how we stage it. We've gotten bigger, a little bigger, so we've evolved with more employees. Katie used to be just somebody that worked at the front, and she evolved into a full-time manager position where she didn't do the retail stuff as much and oversaw seasonal things and the employees. So that was a good move for us. And we don't really want to grow bigger than we are. I think that was another question. It's a lot of work, and I don't think I would have on my plate time to do that justice. People are always saying, well, you should open another one in Dallas or wherever they're from. And it's a lot of work, and you have to trust the people that you work with. I just wouldn't have the time for that. So I'm very happy with where we're at, with the level we're at. We just want to get good stuff and bring people in, and we don't want to be in the red.
Right.
Just make it. People always say, well, you do so much, how much do you make? And I don't take a paycheck from any of my jobs, but we do provide a good job, and I hope a good working environment for the people that are with us. And it's just really fun for me.
That's really great. I love hearing that. So you mentioned Katie. So what's it been like working with all three of your daughters?
It's been amazing. And she just stopped to be a full-time mom, but as I was telling her...
Katie did?
Yes.
Okay.
That I still get to be her mom, and we get to hang out just as much. And I think it was always a sore point for her that we would always talk every day, but it was always about work. And so now we can kind of focus on each other, and she's got a new baby, and she's going to enjoy life. But I love working with my kids.
That's great.
Sometimes maybe they would talk back a little bit more than somebody else would, but,
Yeah.
but I appreciate their point of view.
Yeah. They have a little bit more rapport with the boss.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. So how are you involved in the Stillwater community? How do you all give back to Stillwater? Those kinds of things.
It's a little harder since I live in Los Angeles. So the main thing we focus on is giving back to charitable causes. We get probably twice a week, people will ask, can we donate to, a Christmas auction, or to the teachers at Sanger Ridge, or just all kinds of charities. So we try to do every single one that we get asked. It's not always possible because there's a lot, but that's the biggest way that we give back to the community. Since I'm not here, I'm not able to be hands-on. But for instance, we had an open house, and we gave 5% of our profits to a local charity. So just small things like that. And then also just trying to provide a good working environment for the people that we can hire.
That's really great. So how do you think your businesses contribute to the uniqueness of Stillwater?
Well, there's no other place like Typo Market in Stillwater. We get told that a lot. So I feel like if you want to, and there's a lot of good places in Stillwater. We don't have clothing, or we're not niche in jewelry, but we just have great gifts. So I think we're a one of a kind, and people know that here in Stillwater. For home staging, I don't believe there's another company that home stages, but I have a lot of personal decor that I put a lot of time and thought into. So I believe that we're pretty unique in that area. Just getting started, so we're not super well known yet, but hopefully the word will get out. And then our wedding venue is pretty close to the city limits, so I think it's we offer discounts for Oklahoma State graduates, try to draw people in that way.
Fantastic. So one thing that I really like about where your business is placed is that it's right off Main Street in downtown. And it feels like drawing people this direction has kind of expanded downtown a little bit. And we've seen expansion with other places like Hatch and Roundhouse Bakery and Good Little Eater down to 10th Street. Have you all noticed just kind of a changing culture over the last year or so with any of that?
When we first started, our little corner wasn't as popular, and people wouldn't know where we were. But with the coffee shop opening across the street and Bliss Books, we are attracting a lot more people. We've even had professors at OSU give us a shout out to their students on the first day of school, saying, if you want a good shopping experience, go to Typo Market. So we are getting a lot more attention. It's harder to find parking, which is good.
Yeah.
Like on days I can't find a spot, I have to remember, don't get mad.
Yeah. It's nice that you guys have that one right across the street.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're right across the street from the post office, so that's pretty convenient for us.
Yeah.
We do online sales as well. So.
Okay, cool. Well, everybody check out Typo Market online as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So what do you love most about Stillwater?
I love that it's a small town. I live in Los Angeles full time. The only thing I really like about it is the weather. I don't know my neighbors well. People tend to drive home into their garages and close the garage door, and you don't see anybody. But it's like a big family unit here. There's a lot of people I don't know, but I don't feel that. I feel like it's a big community, and I love it. I know where everything is, where I can go get anything I need. So that's my favorite thing about Stillwater.
That's great.
And that my family lives here.
Oh yeah, that's a minor plus, right?
Yeah, right.
That's great. Susan, any final thoughts? I would love to hear just more of your whole story, because when you say you started at 50, what did you do career-wise
Oh.
before that? And just kind of what was that transition like for you personally?
So I went to 2 years of school at OSU and then transferred to Phillips University in Enid, which no longer exists, but I got a degree in business management. And my summer jobs while going to college were legal assistants. So when I graduated, I just continued in that vein and worked for law firms most of my life as like an executive assistant to attorneys or that sort of thing. I moved to Stillwater and started working for an attorney here, loved it. Got married and moved away to Los Angeles. Went back to school, got my accounting degree from OSU. My last year was done in Los Angeles and graduated. And just, at the age of 50, the jobs starting out in accounting didn't pay a lot. Most of my income would go into taxes. And so my husband and I didn't think it made sense for me to drive in Los Angeles traffic and not get a big result from it. So we just one thing built on another. I've not looked back. I love it. This has been my favorite part of my life so far.
That's amazing. I love that. I think a lot of people, do you think people feel like at some point it's too late to do something new?
I think they do, and it's really not. I can attest to it. And I feel this very strongly in my life that what I'm doing today might not be what I'm doing tomorrow, and it evolves. And I'm a religious person, and so I think that, it's a privilege what I'm doing, and that there's maybe a different direction that God wants me to go into next. And I'm very open to that. I'm not going to hold on to this kicking and screaming, but I just love to see what's around the corner next.
Mm-hmm. Has your belief shaped the way that you've ran your business or anything like that?
It does in my principles, I think. The way I treat people, I believe in honesty above all else, even if it's to my detriment. We've received orders, a duplicate order, and the person that sent it to us didn't realize it was worth a lot of money, and we need to tell them, or you've sent extra and I need to pay you for this. But then I also hope that people are honest with me in return. And I feel it's very important to treat people with kindness the way you'd want to be treated.
The golden rule.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's great. So what are some of the lessons that you've learned since starting your business that you maybe didn't expect?
Let me think about this. I've just learned to be more patient, I think, with myself. And I'm a workaholic and a perfectionist. I don't really take a lot of personal time. I don't have a work-life balance. I know that was one of our questions. And I love it that way. My husband probably not so much, but he's been a great sport. But I do have to learn to take a step back and enjoy my life. And it's easier when I'm around the grandkids because I can't work when I'm around them. Mm-hmm. It's too chaotic.
So what is your long-term vision for your businesses?
I hope that they are still running. My kids are coming and going in and out of the businesses because of their families. I still love it. So I hope to keep doing this. I don't expect to expand it in any way, but I just want to keep doing a great job and enjoying. For Sparrow Homes, I'd love to be able to find a warehouse somewhere that I can store my furniture that's climate controlled. That's very specific, but that's a goal. Maybe to fine-tune this business of staging a little bit better. I think we're doing a good job, but we're learning as we go. We've only been doing it for about a year, staging full-time houses. We are very limited on what we can do because we have a limited stock. Mm-hmm. So 2 houses at once is probably all we can do. So I'd love to grow that side, but then with that also comes more work and more people. So having a great team. I've got a wonderful person that works with me, Amy Castor. She is my manager here and does an amazing job. Now
that's the Amy Castor, right?
Yes.
Of Val and Amy Castor.
That's right.
News 9? Is it News 9?
I should know that.
News. I'll insert the correct number here. That's great. That's a lot of fun.
And people will see her at Typo. She's stepping in and taking a role over there as well.
Oh, awesome. You said, you mentioned before she's kind of filling in now that Katie's stepping out.
Right.
Great.
And then we have another young lady, Allie Simon, that's going to help.
Wonderful. Well, real estate people, let's help Susan find a climate-controlled warehouse space for Sparrow Homes.
Yeah.
That'd be very fun. Great. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you. I always enjoy talking to you. We've worked together for, what's it been? It's 2021, fall of 2021. So about 3 years now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It's always a pleasure.
We love working with you. You guys are amazing.
Thanks. Thanks for tuning in to Still Connect. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Susan. Be sure to check out all of her businesses. I've linked all of their social, website, all of that down below. And if you loved today's episode, don't forget to follow the podcast on social as well, and to share the podcast with all of your Stillwater friends. If you believe in building community through these conversations, consider supporting the podcast on Patreon, where, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can get early access to episodes, a peek behind the curtain at the podcast making process, and a shout out on an episode. With a higher contribution, you can do things like submit questions for upcoming guests, make special requests for the show, get access to online Q&As, and even be on the podcast for an interview segment. No matter what your capacity for supporting the podcast is, every little bit helps grow this amazing community. And we all need community. So even when life gets busy, make sure you still connect.